Hello, welcome back. This week I have a couple in progress projects to show you. First is an update on the quilt. It is still in the works and progress is finally being seen. I've got all these squares that I've cut out and pressed so they're nice and flat, and now they're in their almost final form. So these are the squares that will be sewn together to make the different designs on the quilt top and make it look very pretty. I've been enjoying learning the different, some basic quilting techniques. I've never done a real quilt before. I've made a t-shirt quilt, and I just I knew the general idea of how to quilt, the basic principle of you sew pieces of fabric together and make a pattern out of it. So I made my own design with that, and I didn't actually look up any techniques or how-tos on how to piece it together. But this time I'm following a pattern and learning ways to quickly make the pieces you want and make lots of them. And so to make these squares that are made out of two triangles, it's a really neat way where you take two strips of fabric and you sew them right sides together. And you have to be careful to have an exact seam allowance, which I was not perfectly exact with all of mine, so I need to work on having my seams be very straight and very accurate. But once you have the pieces sewn together, you mark out your measurements and then cut triangles out of this. And you end up with all these little triangles like this that have one seam line on them. And then when you open them up and press them, voila, you've got your square. Some of my squares are a little bit not square. They're just a little bit wonky, but that's where having very exact seam lines, nice and straight, and very exact measurements makes a difference. So I need to work on that to make sure that these little mistakes don't build and become huge mistakes once everything's pieced together. And I want all of my lines of squares to be nice and straight rather than a line that's going up and down because my measurements on each block are slightly different. So that is what I get to work on, which honestly is something that I do struggle with, is being persistent and exact, and I want to do the quick and easy way to finish it and just get it done. But this quilt will be teaching me to slow down, pay attention to the details, because they will make a difference in the end. And I want these quilts to look nice for my girls. I'm not just, if I'm going to spend the time making a quilt, I want it to be done to the best of my ability. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want to be cutting corners just because I'm feeling lazy. I want to do a good job so that they're quilts that hopefully will last as long as my girls want to keep them, rather than having them fall apart or just be so lumpy and kind of ugly looking that no one wants to sleep with them. I want good quilts. So that's what I will be practicing. I also started a new pattern. I found a free online pattern, which I love finding free online patterns and trying them out. This is another one that is teaching me to be exact and precise and to follow the steps. One of the instructions on it is actually, make sure you iron between every step to keep your tailoring perfect. It's something to that effect. And I kind of listened, and each time I ironed, I realized, oh yeah, that makes things look so much nicer and come together so much easier. It takes a little bit longer, but it makes a huge difference in the end. So take the extra time to have a better final project. But it's just a simple slip dress from the pattern company is Grasser. It's a Russian company, and they have several free patterns. A lot of pattern companies will offer one or two free patterns, kind of as a way to get you, to introduce you to how they do patterns and their style and fit, so that you can decide to buy more patterns from them. But this company actually provides several, And so I printed out this one because I've been wanting to make an easy little slip dress to wear underneath things or just as a sundress. And I got this fabric from Fabric Mart. I think it's like a polyester twill. I'm not quite sure what it is. There's minimal stretch to it. I got it in a one of their mystery bundles, and I got 3 or 4 yards of it, so I have a lot of it to play around with. So this is kind of a wearable toile where I'm kind of testing out the fit and seeing how it works with this fabric, and then I have some ideas of other fabrics that I will be more likely to wear. This color isn't one that I usually gravitate towards. I'm very much more of a blue person, although I have been starting to wear many more bright colors. Maybe it's the influence of having a 2-year-old girls in the house who like everything neon pink and purple and orange. But I am excited about this. I like my straps. Actually came out really nicely. They're just nice thin spaghetti straps, and it's all that ironing. You press the seam and it makes it look a lot better. But this one I did after I started piecing it together. I was realizing I probably should have started finishing the seams as I went, because this fabric is fraying quite a lot. So I need to do something to make it not fray away in the wash, whether it's get some of Fray Guard or Fray, no fray spray, whatever that product is, do that, or do like a bias tape seam binding. I need to do something so that I'm going to wear it more often, and so that it's not going to fall apart. Because just because it's the test project, I still don't want it to just be a throwaway project. I would like it to be as wearable as possible. So there are my big projects for the week, and I am pretty excited about this. It's nice to see just some of the clean finishes, and just realize how nice a project can look with just a little bit of extra effort. I still consider myself a beginner sewist, and it's exciting to see that when I just spend a little more time, I can make my stuff look really nice, rather than a lot of times I'm content with having it look like a beginner sewed it. And so I want to challenge myself to do better and to have more professional looking garments, have to actually learn and spend the time to make them look as good as they can, rather than being lazy, like I said earlier. And that's something I struggle with. It's much easier to be lazy, as I think probably all of you can commiserate with, than to put the extra time and effort in to make it look good. So there's my challenge for me. The next few weeks is to put that extra time in to do a truly good job, and make my project something that will last a long time, rather than just something that is finished and okay. But I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time.